lives because I'm just sitting here waiting for it to tell me that I can, speak as like it's going live. But I feel like y'all are seeing me before I realize that I can talk. But either way, happy Monday. This is day 5 of Livemas. I forgot to put that in the title because, like I said, most of these I am on my phone. So, yeah, I have to go back and update that. But if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you are a return viewer, then welcome back. Today, I just want to share some quick tips to help you if the holidays are a tough time for you. Let me fix this because I feel like part of my head is cut off. Okay. But I just wanted to share 3 tips. So this is off the cuff. It was just something that I was thinking about. Moment of transparency. I was getting a home visit from my nurse practitioner on was it Monday? No. When did that home visit happen? It was sometime last week or something like that. But anyways, she came for I think it was like last Wednesday or Thursday, but she came, did a home visit, which I was like, wow, we get home visits now? Okay, like yes. And it's basically like a checkup in the house. So I was like, yes, so I was talking with her about just life, and I'm not going to even cap for y'all and be like, oh yeah, things are great. Like my health. Hey Shayna, I haven't seen you in a minute. How have you been? I know, right? Hey Michelle, I'm glad you finally caught a live. I won't be before you guys long because I'm waiting for the car to heat up and stuff before I go get gas and get Christian from school. But yeah, so I was telling her just about like how I've been, and she was asking me about some things in my health that like just have not, they haven't improved. Some are a little worse, but I mean, it's not like, oh my gosh, like you just let yourself go, but it's definitely like, okay, you're not putting in the effort that you once used to put in a couple months ago. So what's going on? So I was just telling her like all the stuff my family's been dealing with potentially trying to move, which thank God we don't have to move. But we still got issues with the house we're renting, and it's just like a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I was like, the past like 2 months have been like go, ripping and running. I'm still trying to adjust to having a kid in school, which I mean, it's homeschool, so it's like thankfully I just collaborate with the homeschool center for his curriculum and stuff. But it's like that whole process of parenting a child in school is like something I'm still trying to adjust to. I just feel like ever since August hit, like my life has just been a whirlwind, plus speech therapy and all this other stuff, so it's a lot going on. And so I was like, I was answering her question, and she was asking me like, well, do you feel like you've lost interest in everyday activities? Do you feel like the typical questions that they usually ask you when they're trying to assess if you might struggle with some sort of mental illness like depression or anxiety or whatever. So I'm answering the questions honestly, and she was just like, well, I'm not going to diagnose you and put a stamp on it here, but from my knowledge it seems like you could be suffering with seasonal depression. And so I was like, you know what, that can make sense. And so she was telling me the symptoms and stuff, and I was like, yeah, that sounds about accurate and whatnot. And I was like, and it makes sense because for the last like 8 years, every time around like September through January or so, I'm just like blasé. Like I'm just like I'm showing up, I'm really like preaching to myself, like come on, like while I'm encouraging people, I'm really speaking to myself, but it's like I'm not feeling it. And so the holidays can be a rough time for me. Sorry y'all, I'm on the driveway like I said for the car to heat up, so hopefully the rain is not too disturbing because I'm not on car Bluetooth, because I feel like that would have made it worse. But anywho, let me actually make sure my phone is not on ring too, because it would be now that somebody would try to call me. But yeah, so and I was just thinking like the holidays could be a tough time for me, especially in recent years, because my dad, he got really sick and almost died in September of 2014, I think it was, 2014. And then after that, it's like life was never the same. Like, and he's not the same. I mean, he's come a far way health wise. He's not in this country anymore. But yeah, it's just like life was never the same. It was a lot of stress with his healing journey, a lot of transitions and things like that. And then my family just went through a lot. I gave birth this time of year, so leading up to it, last trimester was stressful. It's just a lot going on. And then our family dynamic has changed. It's just me, my mom, my sister, and Christian in the house. We don't have my brother nearby and his sons, my nephews. My dad, like I said, he's not in the country anymore. We had to take him back to Guyana so he could get the care that he needs without the hefty price tag. Another conversation for another day about healthcare, in this country. But nevertheless, it's just like you reminisce on old times. You're just like, man, like this is crazy. Like it's not the same. It's more stress now, because now it's no longer just, oh, what I want to do for the holidays. It's like I got to take care of this child. and make sure that he's taking care of her or whatever, whatever. So I know the holidays can be rough for people for different reasons. It could be because of that, finances. It could be like you've lost loved ones, whether they have gone on and transitioned, or maybe you guys just don't talk. Maybe you fell off. It could be emotionally tough because of various things that you might remember, occurrences in life or whatever. And then too, just the weather, because it's like it's getting darker earlier. We already don't get enough sunlight as it is 9 times out of 10 in the society, because we're always ripping and running and stuff like that. Hey Yasmin, oh, everybody pulling up today. This is squad up, Hey Yasmin, I'm glad that you're here. And it's just like so many different things. So when she told me that, it was like I felt a sigh of relief in a way, because like, okay, I'm not just crazy, like that. I kind of know what's going on now, so now I could take the appropriate measures or whatever. But I was like, okay, I know I can't be the only one that has these feelings or that has a tough time or whatever. Hey Bea, wow, like everybody pulling up everybody's pulling up today. And so I was just like, let me give some quick tips. So I want to give a tip for if you're struggling emotionally, a tip for if you're struggling financially, and a tip for if you're struggling spiritually. So again, it's just off the top of my head. So if I'm repeating myself or if I, stammer on my words or whatever, just be patient with me, because I'm just like, boom, we're going to go live and just talk about it. So the first tip is for if you're struggling emotionally during the holiday season. Maybe there's, like I said, events that are events that occur during this time of year that the holiday season triggers for you. Memories of times gone by where you're like, wow, like, I can't believe my life looks like it does now, when at one point it used to look like XYZ, whatever the case may be, but you just are in a slump. And it could be seasonal depression. Like in my case, it could be maybe this is something you deal with throughout the year. It could just be maybe a recent event that triggered it, like a breakup, a divorce, things like that. Ooh, family gatherings. That is definitely, yeah. Family gatherings can be extremely triggering for various reasons. Sometimes family has no sensitivity to where you're at emotionally. They bring up things that are triggering for you. They bring up old memories. Maybe the atmosphere itself is just triggering because of your family dynamic and the stuff that comes with it. So yeah, that's a good one, sis. But if you are struggling emotionally, my tip for you is to spend extra time tending to your soul. And I know it's like, what in the world? And that's kind of going to be a part of the spiritual one too. But I'm going to just say for this one, spend extra time tending to your soul, and particularly your mind, making sure that whatever it is that just gets you in a good mood. Like I was reading an article the other day, and it said that like when you laugh, it triggers something in your brain to just like make you feel better. Even if you got to force to laugh. Like I don't care if you got to sit down and watch something corny and just like fake laugh. Like even the fake laughter can help you over time feel better. And then, psychologists have researched and shown that when you focus on positive things or like joyful things, not to say you just completely ignore the negative, because you guys know how I feel about toxic positivity and things like that, but like you kind of psych yourself out in a way, and it's like, okay, let me think of something happy. Like for instance, in my case with my dad, when we were growing up, he used to always take us to see Christmas lights. We used to always go and do all of the things. Like my dad was very much like a let's experience life, let's live life on the colorful side, work hard, play hard. Like you're not just gonna work, like spend your money, spend time with your family, go out and do fun things. And growing up in the DMV, there was a lot of like free or really cheap things to do, so they were able to stretch their incomes a lot further than those of us now with the economy. But that's another topic, because that alone could get you emotionally distressed. Like, okay, the way things cost and whatnot, like you might not have had a problem until you went into the store and then you realize like, wow, like this is not it. I need to get my life together, but needless to say, it's like spend time thinking of those things. So whenever I think about like, man, like my dad, I'm not able to see my dad, he's not able to spend Christmas with Christian, and he would be spoiling him rotten right now, and he prayed for these days, and then now they're here and he can't even enjoy it and all that. I think back to the good times, and I'm just like, okay, well, let me try to do as best as I can, because I'm not making nearly as much as my dad made. I was like, let me try to do the best that I can to just like do those things with Christian. So I do like the Christmas light parts, or we're doing like little arts and crafts at the house and singing Christmas songs together and stuff, because that's all that stuff that my family used to do. We used to like sit around the table and sing Christmas carols. And we never did like gingerbread houses and stuff, but I started that tradition with Christian. And so it's to the point now where he's like, when are we gonna make the gingerbread house? When are we gonna make the cookies? Like, so I try to emulate what my dad did for me with him. And so that gets me in a better mindset emotionally, in a better state emotionally. So now I'm not just like crying in the corner, boo-hoo crying, because I will get to that point. And so that's my advice for the emotional struggle. If you're struggling emotionally, really try to focus in on one, even if it's one positive thing. It doesn't have to be grandiose either. It can be like just something small. Maybe your grandmother used to always knit you a sweater for Christmas, or maybe you used to have a best friend that you and her used to like go out ice skating together. So I don't know, just think of something that's like, okay, I can reminisce on this. I can remember the good times. And maybe it's something you could do. Maybe you might not be able to do it with the same people or whatever, but maybe it's something that you can do. So that's tip number one. Focus, try to like really monitor your thoughts. Tip number two, if you're struggling financially, which I think we all can relate to in one way or another, especially now, like, I don't know about y'all, but finances have got me in a chokehold right now. Like, I am literally just like, I'm like, for as hard as I'm working in this season, had this been pre-COVID, like 2018, 2019, I would have been in a surplus right now. Like, I would have been like, oh yeah, like I'm seeing the fruits of my labor, but now it's like I'm barely seeing any fruit. Like, it's just like, because things are so expensive and I have so much on my plate, and I'm trying, I'm grateful, I'm not complaining, but at the same time, it's just like, golly, like, there's got to be a break somewhere. So if you're struggling financially, my tip to you is to, I'm not even going to say cut back, because I feel like that's common sense, but to not like beat yourself up for the financial struggle. I feel like this time of year, as people are buying gifts and splurging and doing things and whatnot, it can make you feel bad, and you're like, dang, I can't, especially if you have kids or a spouse, or you just like to treat your family, your friends, or whatever, and you see like people buying for their family and friends and their kids and stuff, and you're like, dang, I can't afford to do that for my child, man. Like, whew, my man didn't get me that, or if you're happen to be a guy watching this, my girl didn't get me that, or whatever. Like, and then you start to compare, and then you're like, what am I doing? Like, like, how come I can't get that kind of gift, or how come I can't give that kind of gift? And so then the comparison trap starts setting in, and now you're feeling like, well, what's the point of the holidays? Because I really, really work hard, and I should at least be able to get this one thing, for my significant other or my child or whatever, or I really, really would have wanted to, do this or that for my child. Exactly. Come against the comparison trap, because it will suck you dry. And so try not to compare. You guys know also I'm a huge advocate for muting social media pages. If you gotta unfollow, but a good mute can go a far way. So if you just gotta mute yourself for this month, there's no shame in that. Mute yourself. If you gotta uninstall an app on your phone for this month so you don't get sucked into just the endless, mindless scroll of comparison and stuff, then it's okay. Like, do that. Do what you gotta do to protect your mind, because that goes into the emotional, but also so that you don't compare and feel like, well, then what am I working for? Like, what is this all for, type of thing. So I would say to do that for sure. And then I would say for the last one, which is the spiritual struggle, if you're struggling spiritually this time of year during the holidays, then you already know, I'm gonna say, like, you got to reconnect. You got to force yourself, because the Christian walk is gonna have lows. Anybody that says they're always on fire for Christ is lying. They're lying, and they're liar pants on fire. Like, there's no way that you're really walking this out and you're literally always lit, like on 10. Nah. You must be a fresh Christian if that's the case, because you probably haven't really gone through some storms yet. You probably liar pants on fire, sis. It's like the faith walk hasn't really ripped you a new one yet, so you're still fresh, you're still a baby in the game. But if you've really been walking this thing out, trust me, like, you're gonna have lulls, and it's just the name of the game. Like, it doesn't mean you're any less saved or whatever. It's just life. Sometimes that fire is burning bright, and other times it's literally just like an ember of a flame, and you just gotta, like, just, you're going through the motions. So I would say, like, try to find something that can help draw you back into God. Advent calendars are a good way to do that. I was actually going to walk you guys through that this year, but we were supposed to be moving, so I was like, well, let me not do that because then I'm gonna be all over the place. Maybe next year I'll do that. But advent calendars are a great way to do that, and they sell them anywhere. You can get them at Walmart, Aldi. I've seen them at Target. I mean, literally anywhere. They're so easy to get. It just depends, I guess, on what kind you want, because I've seen some that came with wine and stuff, and I was just like, interesting. I mean, I like wine, but I don't know like how it works. I've never done an advent calendar, so I was just like, oh, interesting. Is it like a gift basket with the advent calendar? I don't know. Either way, you can get one at some store near you, I'm sure. That's a great way to do it. A devotional that focuses particularly on the Christmas story, the birth of Jesus and stuff. That's a great way. My Bible reading plan that I started in January with the ladies, it's a group of 8 of us. We're in that part of the Bible now. Well, actually, we're not there anymore. We just left it. Now we're like in 1st and 2nd Corinthians and stuff like that. But, you know, going through that around this holiday season really just like reminded me of the blessing and greatness of God to send Jesus to die for our sins. And it's like we get so caught up on the commercialism of it all and all that. And again, I'm not knocking y'all that get nice gifts. Don't think I'm trying to come for your neck or anything. Like, get all of the nice gifts that you can get. Like, God bless you if you're able to get that, you know, and you don't have to pay for it out of pocket. But I'm just saying, for those who might be like, dang, like, you know, I can't do this, I can't do that, it's triggering your spiritual decline, and then maybe just life has really been beating you up or whatever, or you're just in a lull. Again, you're just kind of like, whatever. You know, going through those devotionals and reading those scriptures and doing the advent calendar, fasting. You guys know I'm a huge advocate of fasting. Really stepping that prayer game up, forcing yourself to talk to God even if you feel like I have nothing to say. Like the other day I was in prayer and I was like, God, I don't even know what to say. And I just started talking. I was just saying any little thing. Next thing you know, I was praying for like 25 minutes. And I was just like, it didn't feel super deep, but it doesn't have to be, because it's just like you're talking to your Heavenly Father. He's not looking for you to wow him with your prayers. He's just looking for conversation. He's looking for you to be humble enough to approach him, you know? And so if you are struggling spiritually, that's a great way to do it. And like I was saying, because I feel like I got sidetracked. Again, this is off the top of my head. Reading the Christmas story in scripture is gonna help just kind of revive. I'm not gonna say, oh, you're gonna read it and just boom, you're gonna be like on fire out here prophesying on the streets, handing out tracts and stuff. I'm not gonna say that, but I will say that it's gonna help you just kind of like get recentered and remember, like, the basis of our Christian faith really is like the birth and death and resurrection of Jesus. Like, if that didn't happen, then all the rest of this is just good reading, good philosophy, you know, good discussion points. But it's just like, it's really about Jesus. And so I feel like if we take that time to just refocus on the reason for the season, it's going to help us spiritually. And it might take a while. You know, I know sometimes when I get in a lull, it takes me a minute to get back, like to really feel like, yeah, we here. I'm definitely like, man, but I'm definitely at the door knocking. I hear that, you know. Oh yeah, having the flu, that would definitely rip you a new one for sure. I hope you're feeling better though. Are you feeling better? I wake up every morning at 5:15 and half the time I don't have anything to talk about. Sometimes he puts stuff in my heart, but sometimes I get to write and then boom, he gives me something. Exactly. Oh, I'm glad to hear that you're better. That's good. So, you know, those are my tips. I don't remember exactly what I said, so I'm not going to rerun them because this is just off the cuff. We're just conversing right now, but I hope that the tips help you guys. You know, and just keep your head up. I know it sounds cliche, but honestly, like, I really don't have much to say to end this, but, you know, keep your head up. I know this year took me out, especially July to December. Like, the first part of the year feels like a totally different year. So I'm definitely just like, okay, but y'all gonna hear the whole recap New Year's Eve, which, speaking of which, keep your eyes peeled. If you want to join the newsletter, go back to one of my old lives, because I still got to go and update all these descriptions, which they will be at some point. But join the newsletter if you want more like up-to-date updates, because I send out email blasts or I have them scheduled more regularly. It's harder for me to go on social media a lot of the time just for the energy of like putting content together, making an announcement. It's a lot. But I will be having another New Year's Eve live on YouTube. This is the 4th year in a row. And this year is going to be starting at 10:45 p.m. Eastern, 9:45 p.m. Central. We'll go into midnight, and then, you know, it'll end sometime after midnight. I always pray us into the new year. So by the time you open your eyes, we'll be in 2023. But make sure you stay tuned for that. It will be live on YouTube. And it's a good time. It's a real good time. I know for the singles group, I'm giving away prizes for like the most engaged members and this and that. I kind of want to do the same for my subscribers on the New Year's Eve live here. So I'm just gonna say I'll have surprises for y'all. I'm still trying to figure out how that all is gonna work and what they're gonna be, but I do want to like acknowledge the people that really helped me through the year, because I fumbled the ball many a day with YouTube, but some of y'all are the faithful few that still show up. You check with me to see if I'm posting anything, so I do want to like celebrate y'all or whatever. So I will have surprises. I can't say what, give me some time to figure that out, but I will give something back to celebrate y'all. So let's see, 2021 took me off, so this year I was expecting my reward, like I survived, so run me. You did good, blessing, right? And God was like, no. And I actually, like I've said this before, but for New Year's Eve, I'm not going to share my vision board with y'all, because to be honest, I don't even know if it'll be done by then, but I'm going to share my plan for my vision board, because again, I saw this creator on TikTok. I got to try to find her name, because I hate like taking someone's idea and using it, and then you can't even properly give them a shout out. I'm gonna search for her name, but if I don't get it, girl, and you happen to see this, I really appreciate you. But the way that she broke it down is how I'm gonna approach the new year, and I feel like it's really gonna help me, and I hope that it helps y'all. Come on, Rondelle, that 10:45 gonna kill me this year. We gotta pray into the new year. I'm gonna nap in the afternoon. Yeah, like, because I don't want to start too early, because it's just like there's so many hours left in 2022. Like I want us to just wake up, open our eyes, and be like, boom, we in the new year. But yeah, y'all. So stay tuned for announcements. I'll be back live tomorrow. I'll probably be live like probably the same time ish. Yeah, probably around the same time. Probably not the morning, yeah, because Christian got speech therapy in the morning. So just look out for me around the same time tomorrow. I think I might try to tell a story time tomorrow. I don't know. If it's not a story time, there are some other topics I'm going to cover. If it's not tomorrow, Thursday will be the story time. But sometime this week I am going to say it's story time, and I'll try to say another one sometime before Livemas ends. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not. Like, share this video. Again, hope the tips help. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. If it's raining like it is here, stay dry, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one.